Millionaire lover boy allegedly scammed smitten woman out of $80,000. See, that wouldn't happen if she was my client. You ready to start this video? Let's get it.
I be getting to the money. Everybody mad. Think I'm getting too much money.
I am Jayden Hollywood, financial life coach and certified credit repair specialist here in Atlanta, and I'm here to teach you how to be black, married, and fly on a budget. Today's subject matter is pretty subjective. I know it's going to rub people the wrong way, and some of you may want to argue with me, and I invite you to do so. Let's continue the conversation on Twitter. Feel free to @ me at @TheGreatJayden. Today I'm going to talk to you about why you need to treat your personal relationship like a business partnership. Most marriages fail not because of infidelity, but because of finances. And if you follow my simple 6-step method, you can avoid, not 100%, but you're more likely to avoid that happening to you. So, let's start with step 1. Step 1 is proper vetting. Before you are brought into a business partnership, if you want to invest significantly and you want to be a managing member, they're going to do a background check on you. Just like when you do a job application, you go for the interview, you present your resume, you present your references, you present your prior jobs. What are they going to do? If they like you, they're going to call those people. They're going to make sure that you are who you really say you are. They're going to make sure that you really worked at these places. They're going to want to know about your performance, what was good about you, what was bad about you. They're going to want to make sure that you're not a criminal. They want to make sure that you're not a murderer, that if you try to get a job at a bank, they want to make sure that you're not someone who embezzles money and didn't go to jail for fraud charges. You know, they want to make sure that you are the right person to be brought into that business. And if you're going to bring somebody into your life and have a lifelong commitment, don't you think that you need to do a little research? Don't you think it would benefit you to, I don't know, maybe sit down with the family, see what that interaction is like. Maybe even do a sit down with the ex, baby mama, baby daddy. I mean, I know it sounds ridiculous, but think about it. If you're going to marry somebody with children, especially young children, 9 times out of 10, that other child's parent is somehow, some way going to be a part of your life if that person is a true parent to their child. So you want to know what that relationship is like with the so-called baby mama or baby daddy. You want to know, is this person a good parent? Because if you have kids with that person, you want to make sure that that person is going to be a good parent to your children as well. You might sit down with that person and find out that this person is actually not a good parent. This person actually doesn't like children. And if you're somebody that actually wants to have children and wants to have a healthy environment for that child to flourish, then you might want to reconsider dating somebody that doesn't like children or doesn't want children. Step 2 is to request financial statements. When you want to invest in a business, especially if you're going to be putting a lot of your own hard-earned money into a business, you're going to request financial statements. You want to know what this business has on hand as far as assets are concerned, what this business has as far as liability, who do they owe money, and what are they bringing to their bottom line? How much revenue are they bringing in? How much expenses do they have? All of that, all of those financial questions are answered one way or another through reviewing their financial statements. So when you are thinking about bringing somebody into your life as a life partner, it would benefit you to know how much that person makes. If you want to live in Beverly Hills, let's just say, that is your dream. You want to live in a mansion on Beverly Hills. Do you think that's possible to do with a person that only makes $8 an hour and is comfortable making $8 an hour? I didn't think so. Another thing that a lot of people don't really investigate is credit. You see, if you were to review a credit report, let's say both of you sat down, you exchanged credit reports, you will know if this person has derogatory marks. You will know if this person has collections. And what you will avoid is what happens to a lot of people. They file a tax return jointly for the first time with their new spouse, anticipating a refund. And then all of the sudden, they realize, that refund never came. And when they do their research, they find out that because their new spouse has not paid on their student loans for the past 3 years, that refund that you thought you were going to get, no, you're not getting. I'm sorry, you're not. And if that person had just had that conversation with their life partner, they would have known that was coming. They would have been able to sit down and develop an action plan to pay off debts. And if you and your spouse are having problems working together as far as an action plan to pay off debts, joint debts, separate debts, contact me, www.letsmakemoneymoves.com. It's one of the services that I offer, debt management, to help people kind of figure out the smartest way on how to attack this debt and keep their head above water. It is simple, drafting a plan. After you talk about what you want to do, you want to put it on paper. You want to decide with your partner how often you want to review it. Either you want to review it every 6 months, you want to review it every year, but you want to write something down so you kind of have a benchmark and you know where you are in relations to those goals. So in 2019, the goal might be for both of you to pay off your student loans. So in 2020, when you review again, you're going to look and see, have you paid off those student loans? And if not, how close are you to doing so? Maybe your goals were a little bit unrealistic and we need to make adjustments, and maybe you've completed those goals and that's great. Now let's add some new goals. The next step is to decide who's going to be the primary responsible person for the finances. Now, a lot of times with my clients that are married couples, I see that the wife is in charge of the finances. And that's great to have a person that's in charge of the finances. But I do think that you all need to have full disclosure on what exactly is going on. Where is the money going? Because what you don't want is years to go by and you think that a bill is getting paid and it's really not. I've seen people be put out on the streets because they think that their partner has been paying the mortgage and they've really been pocketing the money. So have one person that's primarily responsible, but the person that's not primarily responsible still has access to see where all the money is going. The next step is to decide on non-disclosure. When you're a part of a business, you're a partner of, let's say, a McDonald's. You know what it goes in Big Mac sauce, but of course you can't put that on social media. It's a trade secret. See, some of the intimate details of your relationship shouldn't be put on social media, because what happens when you do that is that you just open up your relationship for public ridicule. You're asking people to slide in your DMs and tell you if you need a shoulder to cry on, you can cry on mine. And we all know that never ends well, right? So decide with your partner what is appropriate for public platforms and what is not appropriate for public platforms. And the last, but certainly not least step, is to sign the agreement. If you're legally going to be a partner in a business, you're legally going to be an employee, a manager of a business, you're going to sign some type of agreement, some type of legally binding agreement. And yes, while marriage is a contract, there's one that a lot of people skip, and that's a prenup. And I know a lot of you think that a prenup is not necessary, but guess what? So did the other thousands of people who got a divorce, okay? Every married couple should have a prenup, in my opinion. I don't see why not. If you think that you're never going to break up, then developing a prenup should be really easy. It doesn't have to be malicious. If this person is your life partner that you plan to spend the rest of your life with, then you should be mature enough to sit with this person and decide, in the unlikely event that we break up, these assets are going to go with me, and these assets are going to go with you, and these assets are going to be sold, and the proceeds are going to be split between the both of us. It's that simple. Make sure, though, that you get legal counsel. Don't just write something on some notebook paper and think it's legally binding. You definitely want to seek legal counsel to make sure all your T's are crossed and all your I's are dotted. And that's it for today. If you want to continue this conversation, feel free. Let's continue on Twitter.
Getting to the money. Everybody, man.